Hey guys! Welcome sa video natin today. Pag-uusapan natin lahat ng secrets kung paano maging successful at sellable ang Shopify store mo. For the past 4 years, I've worked with hundreds of Shopify brands at my few things that I've personally seen that could really help increase the valuation of your Shopify brand. Kaya kung may Shopify store ka at gusto mong i-increase ang valuation nito at ma-unlock ang true worth of your business to eventually sell, then this video is for you. Bago tayo mag-start, kung baguhan ka pa lang and would like to get started on Shopify, we have an exclusive link down below where you can get a free trial in your first month for just $1. We also have a ton of other useful e-commerce tools linked down below, which are all affiliate links, so makakakuha kami ng referral fee for each one. This is how we are able to keep our videos free for you. Sige, simulan na natin. Una, pag-uusapan natin kung paano mo sisimula ng pag-calculate ng valuation ng business mo. Hindi mo malalaman how far you are from your goal without knowing where you're currently at. Hindi lang ito slapping a price tag on your business. Talagang may nuanced process ito that brings in various factors to determine the value of your business. From assets to processes to financials and profitability, there's a lot that goes into calculating the value of your Shopify brand. Ang sellers kadalasang iniisip ang future, pero ang mga buyers are typically looking in the here and now. You're going to want to see solid historical data, current performance metrics, and a realistic projection for the future. Siyempre, ang goal ay mahanap ang perfect balance sa pagitan ng achievements mo between past achievements and future potential. Ngayon, pag-uusapan natin kung paano nag-work ang valuation at kung anong formulas ang gagamitin to come up with a valuation of your brand. At its core, ang valuation ay simple formula. Ang valuation ng negosyo mo ay typically your profit, EBITDA, or your SDE multiplied by industry standard. I'm sure you're wondering anong ibig sabihin ng terms na yan. Well, ang EBITDA ay typically your earnings bago ang interest, taxes, depreciation, at amortization. Basically, ito ang kinita before factoring in your expenses. On the other hand, ang SDE o seller discretionary earnings ay typically what the owner has left to all their expenses. Mahalaga ang SDE para sa mga brand na walang masyadong physical assets. So, ipapakita ko sa iyo kung paano natin malalaman ang valuation ng brand mo. Una, tignan mo ang average 3 years of financial data mo that you have on hand. You're going to come up with either your EBITDA or your SDE from those 3 years of financial data. Sunod, find out kung anong industry multiple for your specific industry. Typically, gumagamit ako ng iba't ibang sites para makuha ang average industry multiple. Isa sa mga site na pwedeng gamitin ay ang eval.tech at doon mahanap ang industry multiple para sa EBITDA using your industry. Another great site ay BizBuySell at dito mo rin makikita ang multiples by industry as well for SDE. Let's use an apparel brand na may SDE na $200,000 a year. Hanapin natin ang industry multiple sa BizBuySell by scrolling down and looking for the average revenue and earnings multipliers by industry. So, meron tayong iba't ibang industries that we can look at. Dito, pwede natin i-check ang clothing and accessory store na may earnings multiple na 2.23 at meron din tayong websites at e-commerce business multiple na 3.26. Para sa video na to, gagamitin natin ang website at e-commerce business multiple. Sabihin natin ang SDE mo ay 200,000 a year and you are using a multiple of 3.26. That amounts to a valuation of $652,000, which is why you can technically attempt to sell your brand for. Pero marami pang factors that come up into play when looking at the valuation of your brand at yun ang gusto kong pag-usapan. I'd like to talk a little bit about a specific brand na binili ng acquisition company na pinagtrabahuhan ko. This brand was doing great sa men's grooming space. Kumikita sila ng hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and they had a very loyal customer base. Ang owner ng brand was heavily involved in the brand itself. He was the face of the business, he wrote the email campaigns, and he was all over social media. Nung binili namin yung brand na to, alam na namin na we would lose a lot of customer base when they realized that the owner was no longer part of this brand. This significantly decreased the valuation of the brand itself noong purchase process, kaya't nire-recommend ko na to remove yourself as the face of the business. Consider facing in a mascot or avatar that can stay with the brand long after mong umexit. Consider facing a mascot or an avatar that can stay with the brand long after mong umexit. Imagine that you've now exited your business and you would like to walk away and, I don't know, travel the world, pero ang bagong may-ari ay unable to let you do that, has actually put in the contracts that you must stay and train not only him pero pati na rin ang kanyang team members. Maaari ka manatili sa negosyo mo long after you exit, lalo na kung wala kang tamang SOPs na nakaset up. Ang Standard Operating Procedures or SOPs ang pinakamahalagang part of keeping your business alive, scaling it, but also when you exit. Ang SOPs mo ay nagbibigay ng detailed guidelines on how to carry out specific tasks and operations. Kapag solid ang SOP mo, malaking tulong ito para tumaas ang valuation ng negosyo mo. Idine-demonstrate nito na streamlined ang process ng operation mo at nami-minimize nito ang inefficiencies. Ang investors ay titingnan kung may SOPs ka para ma-minimize nila ang risk when they take on the business. So, makakaya nilang i-train ang sarili nila, i-train ang kanilang team members at i-scale ang business mo accordingly. Which leads me to my next point. Walang new owner ang gustong mag-spend ng 40 to 50 hours within your business. They are acquiring a new business in hopes that it brings them profit without the effort that it took to get there. Kapag mapapatunayan ng owner na ang business niya requires little time, automatic na mas valuable ito. So focus on your time working on the business rather than in it. Mag-set ka ng standard at workflow na nag-aalaw sa'yo ng more flexibility at start growing your team. With that in mind, you want to make sure na ang iyong team can handle the business without you there all the time. And since we're on the topic of teams, pag-usapan natin yan. Ang number ng empleyado mo ay sobrang importante din. Your team, who they are, how many there are, where they're located, all matters. Pag mas kaunti ang empleyado ng isang business, mas dependent ito sa mga taong yon. If may isa o dalawang miyembro ng team ang umalis habang nasa acquisition phase, kakailanganin ng investor na maglaan ng maraming oras at pera para sa pag-hire at training, which they typically don't want to do. On the other hand, kapag sobrang dami naman ng employees, maaaring red flag ito sa investors. They may associate with this high cost, too much turnover, or inefficiencies between these team members. Kung gusto mong palakihin ang iyong team, highly recommended ko ang paggamit ng site like Paired. Sa Paired, makakahanap ka ng top talent at a fraction of the cost. Imamatch ka nila sa top 1% ng talent sa niche that you're looking for. Pwede ka nilang i-pair sa top talent within the marketing at creative departments, content creation, business roles, engineering at tech, executive roles at sales roles. Ang gusto ko sa Paired with finding talents overseas para sa'yo, you are actually providing a great life for someone in another country. They are now able to provide for their families in ways that they might have never been able to do before. My personal experience ako working with staff mula sa ibang bansa at masasabi ko na they are hard workers. So sobrang appreciative nila sa amount of money that they are being paid. May personal experience ako sa pagkuha ng staff from the Philippines, Pakistan at India at masasabi kong sobrang loyal at masisipag sila. Na-appreciate nila yung pay rate that they are getting. At may mga kilala akong nakakapagtayo ng bahay, nakakabili ng sasakyan at nakakapag-aral ng mga anak sa private schools. Kaya gusto ko ang paggamit ng brands tulad ng Paired so that I can not only help someone else but also grow my business at a fraction of the cost. Since pinag-uusapan natin ang pag-grow ng negosyo, gusto kong pag-usapan ang marketing. While marketing is not part of any valuation formula, a great marketing strategy can increase the valuation of your brand. Kailangan ng lahat ng business ang continual flow of customers in order to stay profitable. Mas kumikita ang investors if the business already has a process to bring in customers continuously. This is where email marketing comes in. Ang email marketing tools tulad ng Active Campaign at ConvertKit ay makakatulong sa iyo para palaguin ang iyong email list sa pag-nurture ng customers mo. Right now, we are offering our viewers access to both of these tools with a 14-day free trial. You can check out the link sa ibaba para mag-sign up with no credit card requirement. Our acquisition company considered a profitable email list like gold. Importante talaga to start collecting those emails, nurturing your lists, also maintaining those lists and keeping them up to date. And while we're on the topic of relationships with your customers, gusto ko rin i-touch base ang relationships mo sa iyong manufacturers at vendors. Sila ang backbone ng negosyo mo. Kailangan mo lang patuloy na i-nurture ang relationships na ito para kapag dumating ang time na mag-e-exit ka, you'll be able to pass these connections on to the investor. May ilang bagay na pwedeng itanong ng buyer when selling your business. Like if may exclusivity deals ka ba sa manufacturers mo o willing ang vendors mo to work with someone new. Titignan din nila ang contracts mo with these manufacturers and vendors para siguraduhin na you are maximizing your profits. Kaya good idea na ikaw na mismo mag-review nito quarterly so you can stay up to date as well. And last but not the least, let's talk about your brand's profitability. May tatlong importanteng points akong gustong i-cover. At una dito ang average order value mo. Mahalaga na pataasin ang average order value mo over time at magagawa mo ito with things like using an upsell app and add more products to your customer carts. Ang subscription model sites ay highly sought after dahil sa kanilang multi-recurring revenue operation. Ito ay isang predictable na source of income na gustong-gusto ng investors na makita. Habang lumalago ang brand mo, isipin mo kung paano makakapag-offer ng subscription type service sa customer mo along with your normal products. At syempre, ang lifetime value ng customer mo ay super important sa investors. Kapag mataas ang CLV, indicator ito of brand loyalty, market fit, and recurring revenue from existing customers. Gusto ng investors na makita that customers come back again and again for your brand. And there you have it, my secrets to making your Shopify store not only successful but also sellable. Understanding how investors come up with a valuation of your brand can truly help you strategize kung paano mo mapapalago ang iyong brand so that it could sell well in the future. At kung bago ka pa lang dito and you haven't started on Shopify yet, we have a special exclusive deal linked down below where you can get started for free and your first month for just $1. Hindi mo na kailangan ng credit card, may money back guarantee pa, kaya basically zero risk ito for you. Huwag kalimutan i-check ang link sa baba para sa mga paborito naming e-commerce tools. Maraming salamat sa panonood. If you think this video is helpful, please like and subscribe sa baba para makatulong sa paggawa ng more videos para sa'yo. Enjoy mo ang pag-grow ng brands mo. Bye!